Pastor Kent here with you, and we're continuing our Bible study in Genesis. We're going to Genesis chapter 26 today. Thank you for being here with us. Bless, guide, strengthen, and keep us. May you open hearts and perk spirits that they may know this is true, and say these things in Yeshua's name. Amen. A famine came over the land, not the sum as the same as the first famine which had taken place when Ephraim was alive. Yahushua went to Gorah, to Amalek, king of Philistine. Adonai appeared to him and said, "Do not go down to Egypt, but live where I tell you. Stay in this land, and I will be with you and bless you, because I will give all those lands to you and to your descendants. I will fulfill my oath, which I swore to Ephraim your father. I will make your descendants numerous as the stars in the sky. I will give all the lands of your descendants, and by your descendants all the nations of the earth will bless themselves. By your descendants the nations of the earth will bless themselves. All this because Ephraim heeded what I said and did what I told him to do. He followed my mitzvah, my regulations, and my teachings." So basically, this is the first time in the Bible where we hear Adonai call Ephraim a man of God. It happens numerous times in the Bible. As a matter of fact, it happens 8 times. So Yahushua settled in Gorah. The men of the place asked him about his wife, and he said, "She is my sister." So he did the same silly thing that his father did before him. He thought, if I tell them she's my wife, they will kill me in order to Rebekah. After all, she is a beautiful woman. But one day, after he had lived there a long time, Amalek, king of Philistine, happened to be looking out a window and spotted Yahushua caressing Rebekah's his wife. Amalek summoned Yahushua and said, "So, she is your wife, after all. How come you said she is my sister?" Yahushua responded, "Because I thought I could get killed because of her." Amalek said, "What is this that you have done to me? No of the people could easily have slept with your wife, and you would have brought guilt upon us." Then Amalek warned all the people, "Whoever touches this man or his wife will certainly be put to death." So as we see, the same exact thing happened to Ephraim and Sarai. So history repeats itself again. Yahushua planted crops in the land and reaped that year 100 times as much as he had sowed. Adonai blessed him. The man became rich more and more, until he had become very wealthy indeed. He had flocks, cattle, and a large household. And the Philistine evaded him. Now the Philistine had stopped up and filled the dirt all the walls. His father's servants had dug during the time of Ephraim his father. Alamekah said to Yishakah, "You must go away from us, because you have become more powerful than we." So Zishakah left, set camp in Valdegar, and lived there. Yishakah responded, the wells which he had been dug during the lifetime of Ephraim his father, the ones that the Philistine had stopped up after Ephraim died, and called them by the names his father had used for them. Yishakah's servants dug the Valdi and uncovered the spring running water. But the herdsmen of Galar quarreled with Yishakah's herdsmen, claiming that the water is theirs. So he called the well Ishka, quarreling, because they quarreled with him. They dug another well and quarreled over that one too. So he said to Sitna, enmity. So he called it Sitna, which means enmity. He went away from there and dug another well. And over that one he didn't quarrel. They didn't quarrel. So he called it Rish Ovat, open one spaces, and said, because now Adonai has made room for us, and we will productive in the land. So thus it begins. You see how the Adonai pushed him further and further to the land and to the area which he had planned for him. From there, Yishakah went up to Beersheba. Adonai appeared to him the same night and said, I am the God of Ephraim, your father. Don't be afraid, because I am with you. I will bless you and increase your descendants for the sake of my servant Ephraim. There he built an altar and called the name of Adonai. He pitched his tent there, and there Yishakah's servants dug the well. So as we see that once Adonai had him where he wanted him, he appeared to him and said, this is where you should be. Then Elohyim went to him from Jerah with his friend Akazat and Peleom, the commander of his army. Yishakah said to them, why have you come to me, even though you were unfriendly to me and sent me away? They answered, we saw very clearly that Adonai has come with you. So we said, let there be an oath between us. Let's make a pact between ourselves and you, that you will not harm us, just as we have not caused you offense, but have done you nothing but good, and sent you on your way in peace. Now you are blessed by Adonai. So they noticed that Yishakah was blessed by Adonai, so they know who Adonai was. Yishakah prepared a banquet for them, and they ate and drank. The next morning they got up early and swore to each other. Then Yeshua sent them on their way, and they left him peacefully. That very day Yeshua's servants came and told him about the well they had dug. We have found water. So he called it Shiva, oath of 7. And for this reason, the name of the city is Beersheba, well of 7, well of oath. And to this day, it's still called the same. When Esau was 40 years old, he took as wives Yittahada, the daughter of Balrai, and Hittai, and Basmat, the daughter of Evam and Hittah. But they became a cause of embitterment to the spirit of to Yeshua and Rivha. So, as we see, the time comes where our lives are always in that area. I am in the land which God has chosen for me, Adonai, and that's in the land of New Brunswick. I'm here to help you. I'm here to be with you, and I'm here to protect you. If you're in the sound of my voice today, and perhaps you are uncertain about where your salvation and where you will spend eternity, but our Adonai promised to help in his word to anyone who seeks to know the truth by saying, "Here am I." In John 7, verse 17, if anyone chooses to do the Messiah's will, they will find out whether my teaching comes from Abba or whether I speak on my own. Rak HaKadosh offers himself as a gift to anyone who trusts him. Let's make sure you're going to heaven. Say this simple prayer with me. Abba, I am a sinner. I am sorry for my sins I have committed. I know my sins have put distance between us. I know the distance between us can be healed. Because I believe Yeshua died on the executioner's stake for my sins and rose on the 3rd day from the dead. I now receive him as my personal Messiah and accept the gift of your forgiveness. And in return, I receive everlasting life in the kingdom of heaven. Thank you, Abba, in Adonai's name. I pray, Amen. Please take a moment to let others know you prayed this prayer of salvation, because it says in Matthew 10, verse 32 and 33, everyone therefore who confesses me in front of people, I will confess them in front of my Father in the heavens. But whoever denies me in front of people, I also will deny them in front of my Father which in the heavens. Tell others of your salvation. you can do so by social media. In the meantime, and stay strong in your faith and enjoy the blessings you now have in Elohim. You can find me on Facebook. Our link, our email is heavenelohimtemple@outlook.com. My personal email is kenthopper2400@gmail.com. You can sow to this ministry at paypal.com at Heaven's Elohim Temple. And we also have a website on wix.com. Please feel free to join with us and join in the celebration of your newfound birth. Let's have a word of prayer. Abba, thank you for this time. Thank you for this place that you have been with us. Bless and guide and strengthen and keep us in thy way and in thy will. And say these things in Yeshua's name. Amen.